Well, the bucks are still at it, but they've slowed down a lot. These little animals trying to fatten up. And here's a rare glimpse of a hawk. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smokies. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here in East Tennessee. Now, this year's just about gone. Seems like it just flew by. But it's turned cold here. Dreary days. We've had just drizzly rain, but no snow. A little bit of sun here and there, but mostly just drizzly, cloudy days. I hope you're doing well out there. Taking care of yourself and staying warm. I know there's a lot of snow north of me. So anyway, guys, the old pond, it's actually got water in it. And you can see it a little bit back there, but it's mostly just covered with leaves over top of it. But the animals seem to love it. So relax, take it easy, and let's see what stepped in front of the cameras this week. The old does and the herd, they just wandering back and forth trying to stay ahead of these old bucks. They're still following them, but they've slowed down a lot. It's on the downward leg of this rut. And the deer being able to slow down a little bit. They're just taking it easy, the herd is. And they'll just lay down, try to take it easy. And I mean, they relax too. Good captures of them. And they're tired. They're all wore out. But these old bucks, they ain't gonna give up. If them does didn't get up and move, them bucks would be standing right on top of them. And they're excited, some of them still. Look at them. They just going about, just doing their thing, but it's winding down. And the little yearlings, look at their winter coat on. They just, the whole herd just moseying through. Just happened to be in front of a camera. But the old bucks, they don't give up. They make sure. And they're running everywhere. But they've slowed down really. This is just a downward leg up. You can see him. He's still chasing them does though. Ain't that beautiful? And a lot of little birds migrating through. Here's a bunch of them. Look like blackbirds, but they don't. And little ground squirrels are still working hard. But old Yeller's out watching them too. And the old coyotes is watching everything, even during the daytime. But the deer just doing what they gotta do. This looks like Mommy and her twins, last year's twins. Well, early in the spring's twin. And they just relaxing, taking it easy. Just wherever they happen to moseying to, looking for these acorns. And there's still a lot to be got. Down at the acorn pile, everybody gets in on this. There's a little yearling in it. But here's a surprise, no big buck. I guess he's gotta stop and fuel up a little bit. He's in them acorns too, and ain't them some beautiful captures of him. Right in front of the camera. You see them up close and personal here. Beautiful rack on it. Ain't that beautiful? But the little ground squirrels, they're always in these leaves. Look at them. You can't even see them most of the time. Working hard. And old Mr. Gray Squirrel, he never pass up an acorn or a nut. He'll find them. They still fattening up. And they're just so comical. And here at the stump, the little ground squirrel working hard there, looking for him acorn. And here's an old hawk. Rare capture of this. A gossip hawk, I guess. It ain't no red tail. He's looking for them squirrels too. Ain't he beautiful? Rare capture of that. But they take a many of these squirrels out of this ridge, I guarantee you. But the little squirrels, when the danger's gone, they back out to doing their thing. They love this little stump. Just like to get up and sit on it and eat. Little fat squirrel there, ain't he? They fatten it up good. And boy, they can go through a nut. It don't matter acorn or walnut, hickory nut, they'll go through it. And this is all I filmed down to cut this week that tripped the cameras, set of squirrels playing. And at the log, got it back to working. There the robins, they're in here, a lot of them. And there's a little chipmunk. Chucky, he's taking it easy. And in the background, you can see the bucks still wandering down the trail. And a few herd of the does here. But the old big buck, he's making sure. Still following him around. But old Ricky's back. He's working this place, looking for them acorns. And he'll find them too. They're still laying everywhere under these leaves. But he has to stop and say hi every once in a while. Moving on. And at the tree, the doe just browsing through. Even the herd comes through here and there. But so is the old buck. And up at the rock, there's a little blue jay on the perch there. You hear them all the time. Every once in a while they come down on the ground. And there's a little rare sight, a red-headed woodpecker working on the perch. They're pretty birds. And there's little Ricky. He's looking for them walnuts. But they ain't to be got, but the acorns are. And the deer browse up here too, just like anywhere else. Mommy and one of her yearlings. And behind the rock, there's a little old squirrel right in the camera. Ricky saying hi. and a little wren, doing his thing. And down at the pond, on either camera, this is all I got. Just the little birds working. No action during the day, and surely not no turkeys this week. But it come dark, all the masters of the ridge are out in force. Coming and a-going. There's old No-Tail checking in. And they got to get right in front of the camera sometime. So curious, these little coons. And they're into everything. They'll find something to eat on. They're not picky. They like acorns too. But they seem to be nervous. I guess these old coyotes are sneaking around. They got to be careful. But there ain't no one coyote going to take down a healthy grown coon, I'll tell you that. Old No-Tail'll be like grabbing a chainsaw. And the old possum, they're still out getting these bugs, which they're hard to get, but they seem to be finding some in these leaves, trying to stay warm. And there's a skunk. They're on this ridge too. They just don't step in front of the camera very much. And there's one right in front of the cameras this week. Don't know which one that one is. And there's Freddie and Betty passing through. The foxes. And there's a feral cat. Looks like old Smoke, but I don't know. Can't tell it raining. But the old coyotes is watching all of them. They just tracking them. But the old deer, the does, they gonna do what they gotta do, night or day. But they have to be careful too. And they know it. But the old bucks, they still working. Well, step in front of the cameras this week, some nice ones. But they're slowing down. But there'll be another rut around the first of the year. They always are. That's the reason we see them late ponds in the summer. And they still working. But they're wore out, I know they are. And they got to stop and refuel once in a while. Get them something to eat on. Crunching on them acorns. Down the stump, all up him at night was the coons passing through, making the rounds. And at the cut, all up him at night this week that tripped the cameras is a possum. He's getting something out of these leaves. Them bugs are still under them leaves. And at the tree, there's a fox coming through. Don't know if that's Freddie or Betty. And there's that feral cat again. It looks like Smoke, but I can't tell you. And the coons, of course, they're always through here. And there's a big old buck coming down from the rock motel. He's still following these does singing around. There he is up at the rock. He knows they've been through here. Funny thing about these old big bucks, they'll slowly disappear. And that's behind the rock, there's old, looks like corkscrew coming through, that crooked tail. There he is going back into the rock that the front didn't capture. And there's a skunk. that the front camera didn't capture. Don't know if that's flat top or which one it is. And up on the ridge, coons seem to be running in big gangs this week. I guess they're going to make sure they watch out for each other. One's taking the point, the rest of them's coming through. Them stragglers better be careful. And the old bucks is up here too. This looks like just a big old spike right here. But they're still working. The old coyotes, they watching everything, whatever they can find. Down at the pond, there's a little yearling checking in on what I got on that camera. And on the other camera, full-size doe up here, browsing around right in front of the camera, smelling. They just slowly move on. No party here there this week. And no bucks. But the coons, they're always here. But they're watching for them coyotes. I'd say they're close. Come down. There's Mommy and one of her yearlings saying hi. And the little squirrels, yeah, they up at dawn all the time. Daylight to dusk. And the bucks still going about their business. Tracking them doe. But they gotta fuel up sometimes. The deer just browse all day long, watching out for danger. But it's time for the little squirrels. Comical little squirrels. Always working, always eating, and always finding these nuts. They're so comical. Well, guys, that's just what stepped in front of the cameras. Now, next week, it's the Christmas party coming, so make sure you see and check that out. That'll be the last one for the year. It'll be time for the best of 2025 clip. So take care out there, stay warm, God bless, and I'll see you next time.